right, guys, lesson 2 of this playlist. Yeah, it's a beginner playlist, path to musical player. But check this out. Here's kind of what we're going to do. Okay, so we did this in the last lesson, lesson 1. So we did C open chord to a triad. Open chord to a triad. Now, here's the thing. All these little skill sets, you have to keep developing. You should be introduced to them and start using them as a beginner, and then you have to keep them in the musical player path. It's muting. So we're going to talk a lot about muting, controlling our sound, and we're going to talk about rhythm because rhythm is king now and forever. Now, let's go right to the chart. Here's the power of this, okay? Here's kind of why I re-geared this whole system. You got the close-up of the guitar, you got the chart. Now, I already have the C open chord on here, okay? Here's the C, E, a C, an open G, an E, open E, and we don't play the low E, okay? If you got it in there, it's not the end of the world, but you're trying to be very precise with your technique, okay? This is how you sound really clean, and this is what you want to sound like a musical player. Now, you see the triad right here, it's C, E, G. See this angular shape? And check this out. I got this angle for you too. So the beauty of this is C, E, G. I know some of you guys like this because it matches, look at the angle of my fingers. Perfectly match the angle of the notes on the fretboard. Okay, but you really need to know how to read a chart like this, okay? But it's okay, we'll do both because I love you guys, all right? Give me a little mini golf clap for that. Okay, now let's go into this. Before we get into the F major bar chord and the F triad, because we're gonna make music using 2 chords. If we're not making music, we're just running exercises, okay? So you gotta understand everything comes from the major scale. So I have a major scale, C major, this is the key we're in, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. The 7 scale degrees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So C's the 1, 2's the D. Okay, now I'll just show you for illustrative purposes. If I played a C major scale right here, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. There's no chords there. Those are single notes. Ba, 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 ba. But when we start building chords, we pull the notes from the scale. And that's what the triad is. This is a C major chord. I'm going to point out, though, a lot of people get confused because they keep hearing triads, 3 notes. Yes, they're beautiful. They're the spine, the lifeblood. They're like, well, when I play the C open chord, it's 5 notes, C, E, G, C, E. And then my question you'd be, well, are there C's, E's, and G's in there, and that's it? Yeah, because there's 2 C's. Here's a C, here's a C, right? C here, there's an E here, okay? And then there's an open E there, and then you got an open G. So what we do is we strip it back to its beautiful form, C, E, G. And the way we build that, and we're going to do the F in just a minute, because we're going to make music with 2 chords, C and F. We take the first note, C, because we got to take the root. So this is a 1, 3, 5 triad. We skip the next note in the scale. We take the E. We skip the next note. We take the G, C, E, G. You just got to memorize that. So look, it's very easy though. Whatever note you start on to build the diatonic triad. And if you don't know what diatonic it just means all those chords belong to this key. We're not borrowing any chords that don't belong to the key. You don't see any other chords, okay? So C, E, G, okay? And I'm gonna show you how that's gonna come into play when we build the F. Okay, so you got it. Now I'm gonna point out, we talked about certain things, there we go. We gotta keep in the forefront, the muting, okay? You're controlling your sound by using the fleshy part of your strumming hand, which drives your rhythm on the fretboard, on the strings above the bridge, okay? So beginners play open chords, very open, and they don't control it with dynamics. That's how you control all the unwanted noise that's going to frustrate the living socks of you. But you'll get it, okay? That's why I'm here. So let's go into the bread and butter of this. So I'm going to get both charts set up. So we're going to take away that. We're going to throw down the bar chord, okay? And I'm not sure why that other one, there we go. Okay, let's get rid of that. I apologize. Let's go here, same thing. Let's set this chart up, boom, get away the C, goodbye. Okay, so we've got the bar chord, okay? We got the F bar chord. And here's what happens a lot, okay? So let's say when you're learning Guitar 101, you start learning some open chords, right? You learn them, you learn a scale or two. So C, you learn C. I don't know what order, you learn D. You might be told, oh, there's a D minor. And then it's like that. And then like, here's an A minor, here's an E minor. And then you like run into the F chord and you're like, what the F? What the fudge? It's, look, you gotta play a bar chord. Okay, and I'll just quickly point out something really cool. If I go back to the chart, here is, look, the same thing. We're going to do the triad for this too. I want to point something out. This is you got to connect things, okay? You got to connect the fretboard. I don't want you to be blind to it. C, F, C, F, A, C, F. You see 3 Fs, 2 Cs, and an A. And those are the notes that make up an F major triad. We're going to build that in just a minute. So my mom was asking me the other day, she was so concerned because she's playing. Guitar's not her main instrument. She's more of a pianist vocalist. She's a good guitarist though. She's like, I can't get all the strings to sound out on the bar chord, okay? And I said, Mom, listen, rhythm is king. If you could only get one note to sound out and you're going like this, that is way better, right? Listen, that's way better if you heard if someone going like this. If someone's getting all 6 strings to play, sound out, and they don't have rhythm, it sounds like this. That doesn't sound nearly as good. Let's just say I'm getting the high end part of the bar chord. Let's say I'm just gonna get the G, B, and high E to sound out. I'm going. See, rhythm drives everything. This is actually a drum set. It's not a guitar, in case you didn't know that. But I'm serious. You're going to see, keep coming back here. We'll keep connecting everything in this playlist. So let's just go back here, and let's wrap it with this. Now, watch what happens. You see the bar chord here, okay? See the bar chord. I'm going to fret the bar chord. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the F triad, and I'm going to drop it on what's called the DGB string set. And I will point out, because I'm going to be very consistent with the language moving forward now and forever, this right here is the DGB string set, because this is what the triad is going to live on. There's 12 major minor triad shapes on 4 different string sets. So we're just focusing on DGB. We're going to do F major triad. Okay, so now watch this. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to drop the F major triad on that string set right now, and you tell me if you see it pop up. I just did it. Let me take it away. And I just did it. And the reason you didn't see anything change is because it lives inside the bar chord. If I take away the bar chord, we'll do the same thing on this chart. Let's take away the bar chord. There's the triad. So you see how it's like the spine of it? So I'm going from the point of view like this, full bar chord to that, F-A-C. Remember I told you to go F-A-C? Say that F-A-C, 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 A, F-A-C, A. Say the note names, make connections. This is all going to pay off in the long run, okay? So what you can do, if I throw the bar chord, now that you know that's inside the bar chord, there's this beautiful exercise I do all the time, okay? And I do the bar chord to the triad. I go bar chord to the triad. Now, notice how I'm muting. Watch my rhythm hand, okay? Because look, sometimes your rhythm hand can swing wide, kind of wild, okay? Real musical, like it's like unharnessed a little bit. Then you got to clamp down and get your muting to control the sound. So if I go, see, that is different than. Now the rhythm's there in both. If I go more open, okay, that's what you're striving for. That's what you're trying to develop in the developing phase. But you got to put all this together in the beginning phase. So hopefully some of that makes sense. Now, I did promise you, let's go here. I said we would build this triad. So I'm going to go ahead and build it right here. I'm going to hold the shape, okay? And one thing you can do too, you can take your rhythm hand out, okay? And you can just practice going back and forth like this. And I'm going to point out one more important thing. So let's build it. Remember the pattern I said? So you start an F. Okay, we're going to build the F major triad. And remember the 1, 4, and 5 chords in the major scale, when you build them, are always major. The 2, 3, and 6 chords are always minor, and the 7 chord is diminished. That's kind of why I have the color coding. So the 2 green, major. I just wanted to put the very first chord because you know that's major. I wanted to put it red. I want you to know where the root is. It's really important to know where home is, okay? And then the minor are in blue, D, E, and A. But we're just building the 1 chord and the 4 chord. So we take F, we skip the G, we take the A. So look, F, A, boom, right there. And there's my F, my A, right there. And then we skip the B, we go to the C, and there's the C right there. Okay, let me point this out. Now, this is more of an advanced like musical player technique, but I want to kind of show you where you're headed. I want you to know things you can strive for, and I don't want to ever assume maybe someone that's a beginner could do this. Watch this. When you're doing this bar chord to the triad technique, or bar chord to the triad, you see how my thumb is wrapping over? And I've gotten this question so many times because I do this technique a lot. I always point it out as it's killer. My thumb is wrapping over and it looks like it's playing an F sharp. And you're like, why are you playing an F sharp when you're playing an F chord or F triad? I said, well, I'm actually not playing that note, I'm muting it. Remember I talked about muting? So here's an example of how your thumb is muting the E and A strings so I can get very percussive and I can go just the triad. When you get really good at it, you can do really killer things like just accent one note at a time. Okay, so this is the path to musical player. This is the musical player path. Beginning, developing, a lot of time in developing, and then musical player. So that's kind of the ultimate goal. So what I want you to do, I'm going to show you just really quick too before we wrap this up, kind of the point of view. When I go like this and I go like that, you can see how my thumb, you can actually see my thumb right there muting the E and A strings. And listen, I've had lots of people say my hands aren't big enough. My hands, I can't do that. And listen, I don't have massive, huge hands. I don't have small hands, maybe medium hands. We are medium hands. Band name game. Okay. So practice, sometimes you're going to adapt your technique and you might bring your elbow up more to get your thumb. It's just thinking about it. It's just growth mindset. Watch. I'll just exaggerate to show you what. Not even playing a note. Never stop. No, there's no mistakes in music if you never stop and you keep the rhythm train going. Watch. Okay, so you kind of saw what we did there. Now, just for funsies, what you should be able to do, let's throw the bar chord back on there. You know that triad's right inside there, okay? Now, using that logic, now I'm going to throw the C on there. That's going to be the open chord and the C triad. It's going to get a little bit of a hot mess, but you should be able to pick this apart visually and understand. Okay, but let's just kind of focus on the C, E, G up here, okay? Now, with that logic, if this triad shape on the DGB string set, this major 1, 3, 5 triad, wouldn't that make sense that that's actually living inside of the C major bar chord too? So let me show you what I mean, okay? So here's the triad right here, okay? C, E, G, okay? Bar chord, look, C, C triad, bar chord to the triad, bar chord to the triad. Now, if you thought musically, musical player path, couldn't you go bar chord C to C triad, bar chord F to F triad, and couldn't you make music like that? So let's just kind of go full screen just to see. Watch this. C, triad, F, triad, C, triad, F, triad, open chord, arpeggiate, triad, triad, 2 bar chord. And you keep the rhythm going, and you use your muting to control and harness all of it. That's all you're doing, okay? So do you guys see what we did there? We did 2 chords. There's limitless possibilities that you can come up with. We didn't even do any scales yet. So I'm going to keep building out this playlist. I want you to let me know which of these angles. I'm just curious, did you like this angle, the straight ahead? Do you like the point of view? I'm going to keep the chart on both to stay very consistent. And I want you to make the connection inside of a bar chord. I want you to know now that in any bar chord that you root off of the low E, so anytime, like if I went like this, if I took this F, like I just kept moving, here's the root. If I kept moving it all the way up, that triad shape right here on the DG, it's inside of every single one. So if you really think about that, just to take it a step further, you could do, this is an exercise, this isn't like musical really, but you could go all the way up. Let's just go from F to C. We'll play every single bar chord to every triad inside the bar chord, and then we'll wrap this up. And this is just like, see, this is how you gotta think, make things up, okay? Bar chord to the triad, bar chord to the triad, bar chord to the triad. I'm speeding up. Back down. almost screwed up there, but did you see me stop playing? I didn't. Okay, you guys see how this is what makes music so fun. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about triads till you throw up on yourself. No, trust me, triads are the way, okay? Triads are the cage, they're everything, you'll see. So let me know what worked for you. What are you working on, okay? 3 paths, beginner, developing, musical player. This is where we're going. This is where we're gonna keep it consistent. And listen, if you're here and you are more of a beginner, I'll keep building out this playlist, but if I make a video that doesn't necessarily go in this playlist, watch it because you never know, okay? And I'll tell you this, every time I'll put lots of great information in a video, they're nothing more than frameworks, okay? So we kept it real simple here. We had a C open and a C bar chord, and we had an F bar chord and an F triad. Sorry, C open and a C triad. But we kept it really precise and tight. But anytime if I give you more, you can just take one little piece of it, okay? And see if you can connect it to stuff you've seen before. And just keep coming back. What do you want me to make you? I'll make it, okay? Drop jellyfish. Where's my jellyfish? He's right, there he is. There's another one over there. Or your favorite sea creature in the comments. Where are you watching from? You digging this new system? If this is your first time here, welcome. Hopefully we can keep you forever. And let's keep learning this thing called guitar. I mean, drums. It's a drum set, right? Man, chorus sounds so good. All right, I gotta go. Peace.